Welcome back, everybody, to the XBA. We've got about a week and a half layoff, but we're finally back, and I've got a trade deadline update for you tonight. Yes, so the trade day for the XBA, all trades are done on a trade day, so there's no trades that occur throughout the season up until one singular day to make your transaction. So that's what we had here. That allows for you guys, the fans, to vote and put your pick in there, yes or no, your approval or your rejection of these trade offers that me and my brother, my co-host, create. And the trade, guys, if you need a reminder, has to get 60% or above in approval. So it's got to get 60% yeses. If it's below 60%, it will not go through. So what trades do we see? I'm showing them up on the screen there for you. Here's the perfect example of a trade that didn't go through. Pittsburgh acquiring Ersan Ilyasova. Los Angeles acquiring Kyle Anderson from the New Orleans Neptunes. Those trades did not go through. There's a couple other ones, like I think Jake Layman for Washington did not go through as well. They were trying to ship him off to, I believe, Denver. I think I read that correctly. So that trade did not pass, but the big trade did for St. Louis and Detroit. That had the overwhelming majority at about 80 some odd percent. The other good trade, the big trade with all the attention surrounding it, would be Montreal acquiring Gary Harris. That was a big one. The next one would be Miami Night Owls acquiring Shake Milton. That was a big one for them. They need some offensive firepower, so that's going to help them as well. I think the thing before we get into this game between Denver and SoCal was all these teams that were really trying to basically condense their team out, right? The City Slickers, the Washington Founders, two teams that were really kind of just out of the playoff mix. They're kind of tanking, but not tanking, right? So they're getting rid of their veteran pieces for some young guys. So let's get right into this game here. We've got kind of a blowout here already happening in SoCal. Denver 26-14 right now. And D'Angelo Russell, you got Jarrett Culver on this team. They're trying to put the team on their backs, guys, and try to make this comeback. It's 30-19. And then we hit this three by Jay Crowder. Get them down by 8, almost going into the half, right? We got 6 minutes going into the second quarter here. And we see Markieff Morris going to draw the foul on Georgie Jang, a trade deadline acquisition. And he's already making his presence negatively felt there. That sucks for him. But we got a 53-37 game. 65% from the field is Denver. We see another missed shot here for SoCal, and it's just not looking good for SoCal, guys. Offensively, defensively, they're just not playing very well. They're down by 20 before Marcus Bryant's going to hit this fadeaway jump shot, and he's doing a little cocky little move there. I don't like that, man. You're down by 20. Like, come on. You're trying to fight for your playoff lives here. Like, have a little bit of self-awareness here of the scoreboard. 69-56 as we go into the fourth quarter here. 7:17 left to go. And Marcus All gonna keep it rolling. 71-56. Russell for 3 gets the green splash. 73-59. Denver on the other end gonna hit another 3. 76-59. Georgie Jang in the corner gonna hit 3. So that's really why they wanted to acquire a guy like Georgie Jang, because they needed some depth there behind Marcus Bryant. Jang is not going to be the starter. Obviously, you're going to be playing Marcus Bryant mostly every day. I mean, you're in a playoff push. You're in a buyer's market. You're acquiring Jang to be kind of that offensive piece. So you kind of when Bryant needs rest, you put Jang in there, and you kind of get similar production, right? You keep the foot on the gas pedal, so to speak. But it didn't help them tonight. Against Denver. They do end up dropping one at home. 94-75 is your final score. Jang had 7 points and 6 boards. That's going to be a pretty good productive night, in my opinion. You got 31 points here for Ben Simmons, 12 assists. That's a number that sticks out for me. So his offense was really helping him tonight. Either his offense, everybody he was passing to just made plays, or he was making the right reads, right? So either way you slice it up, really good offensive production here for the Denver Summit. Kind of unfortunate that they did not find a trading partner in this trade day for XBA, year number 2. Kind of unfortunate, but you know, my brother and I, we like to be fair. We like to look around and see what pieces might make sense for the team and what holes that each team might have. But for Denver, they're a pretty strong team as it is, and it just didn't look like they needed all that much in order to kind of make a deep run like they did last season. All right, let's get into this Eastern Conference matchup between the Wisconsin Bandits and the Chicago BC Chicago Basketball Club Chicago. Here's Kelly Olynyk hitting a 3. And Chicago has been very disappointing in my opinion, because I picked them to be kind of that surprise team in the East to take that next step, especially with Drew Holiday. They got not Kendrick Nunn, but they have Devontae Graham was a big addition. Kendrick Nunn would be on the Columbus Basket Hounds, but Victor Oladipo, Mitchell Robinson, they've got good players on their team, and for whatever reason, they're just not putting it together this season. Maybe that's got to be partly due to the fact that it's kind of a newness. It's kind of a new roster playing together and trying to figure out how to do that. Basketball is a team game, man, and you got to be on each other's same page to know where your teammates are at, find the open guy. And it's a tough team game. All right, let's get into this matchup. Let's talk a little bit about it, right? Wisconsin in first place in the East, right? They're a very, very tough team. So between Chicago and Wisconsin, it's gonna be a dogfight. You guys can already see it here. I mean, we have the top draft pick for them, Jamal Nkolo, making plays. We got Terry Rozier making threes all over the place. Like, it's pretty tightly contested so far. We got Nkolo shooting another 3, gonna miss. Mitchell Robinson for the rebound, gonna get this in. 39-38 fadeaway jumper, gonna miss. And Carroll with the rebound. Out comes Nkolo. He's got that speed, he does. And then Oladipo with the slam dunk, and he's just gonna hang there with one arm. Really making Wisconsin feel it here. 3-ball good, 46-42. And Maladon gonna get this rebound. And we go into halftime. We go into the half with a Chicago 4-point lead. On the road, nonetheless, in Wisconsin. So 56% from the field compared to 48. That's gonna be your telltale sign of why this is a 4-point swing. If Wisconsin can start making more buckets, right? I feel like they can take this game. They can take this game against BC Chicago here. And we see Brunson with a 3. Gonna drill it. Nice play from the inbound pass, of course. Now 67-60 game. And here comes Brunson again. Gonna hit another 2. So 73-65. Wisconsin starting to heat up. Brunson for 3. No good. Now out comes Chicago nearing the end of the third quarter. Can they get the shot off? Oladipo, they gave him some space. He's going to drain it. So they're down by 5. They pulled it within single digits there. So 5. I like it. It's more manageable. Sometimes when you talk about single digits, like 9, 8, I want to get it to 5. 5's a good number, right? And then we have Covington hitting a 3, 88, 83, make it 90. We're going down to the wire here. Missed shot for Chicago, down by 7. Again, that's not a number that I'd necessarily like to be down by. And then Jaylen Brown with the slam dunk and a great read by Terry Rozier. And that's going to do it. So Chicago held the lead in the first half. Second half, like we talked about, with a 4-point spread at the half, Wisconsin was able to start hitting more shots, and that field goal percentage started going up a little bit, and the rest is history, man. They beat Chicago by 10, right? Victor Oladipo with 18 points, Rudy Gay with 14. We don't talk about him a whole lot on this BC Chicago team, but they've got a good team, and for whatever reason, again, it's just not really helping them out this season. So I think next year might be the bounce back season. We'll just keep our eyes out on BC Chicago. There's still a lot of season left to play, but yet again, Wisconsin is showing why they're one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. All right, let's get to this matchup here, guys, between a Western Conference team and an Eastern Conference team, and 2 teams, of course, that are in the playoff mix. Seattle is a little bit more solidified in that playoff mix. I think they're rated 3rd or 4th. We will get a standings update at the very end of this video, so stay tuned if you guys want to check that out. But we know that Montreal made a big splash type of trade in acquiring Gary Harris. They got Gary Harris, and they're currently not in the playoff mix. If I'm remembering the standings correctly, and again, we'll get that standings update, but if I'm remembering it correctly, they're not currently in that playoff mix. At least not in the standings, not 1 through 8. They could still make it with some good basketball down the stretch here. But again, a lot of basketball left to be played here, but they did go out and acquire Gary Harris to try to push that team over the top and make the playoffs for a back-to-back season. They don't want to be on that bubble, per se, to get relocated. They don't want that fan vote. There's Gary Harris making a 2. That'd be his first bucket for the new look. Gary Harris in that purple, that Montreal Gothiques purple. Here's Gary Harris one more time. He's going to miss this shot. Tristan Thompson, another rebound. He ends up passing to Harris, says, here, you take it. Can't make it again. And Tristan Thompson with the dunk. Here's Hazonia for 3. Going to push it up by 3. 30-26. Montreal here with the basketball. And look at Zach LaVine with the up and under. He's pumped. 31-28, down by 3. And here is David Bertans with the 3, baby. Gotta like that. 31-31. Here's Reggie Jackson for 2. Nice little layup there. So we got a Seattle lead here, 33-31. And then Gary Harris. Look at this guy, man. This is why they acquired a player like Gary Harris. They need more offense, and they're going to get it here. Look at Harris one more time. Little layup. Just blow right past the defender, and it's all good. 43-41, and we are ending the second quarter with a 3-ball from Kevin Knox. And we're going to go into the half with a Montreal 44-43 lead. Hazonia finding himself and his teammates down by still 1 point. He's going to hit 2 to go up by 1. 51-50. Here's a nice play on defense by Zach LaVine. Here comes Montreal with the ball, and Knox for a slam dunk. Going to put Montreal back up on top. So we got a back and forth battle here. Hazonia is going to lose the basketball, and now out comes Montreal one more time. Up by 3. Knox is going to get gutsy, and he's going to drill a 3, guys. So Kevin Knox in the last couple possessions here has really taken on that leadership role, right? He's really trying to dig deep and put the team on the back. But Zach LaVine's going to go from way downtown and hit 3 himself. It is 69-57. Montreal's up by 12. And here's David Bertans again for 3. And yeah, Montreal's pumped up, guys. Look at the scoreboard. 81-67 with 4 minutes and 35 seconds to go. And they're going to hit a contested 3. Like Deontay, like what is that? Deontay Murray going to hit long range 3 like that? Like there's nothing he can do. This just was not Seattle's night. 97-80 is your final score. Montreal with more offense. They acquired Tony Parker. They acquired Gary Harris. These are 2 players that are going to help that offense out. Gothiques look pretty good. They look like they're a legit playoff contender now than they have been early on in year number 2. So we'll keep tabs on Montreal and see how they're going to be doing here in the next few weeks, the next few uploads. I think that they're going to be just fine. All right, let's get to this matchup here. This is a pretty interesting matchup, and you guys can tell from the thumbnail. It's LeBron James against Malik Jones. And Malik Jones has led the Philadelphia Bruisers to a 27-20 regular season record. This is crazy. It's a crazy turnaround for Philly. Like, you lean on De'Aaron Fox. He's been a good player for them. Miles Turner's also been a good player. But, you know, they got guys like Derek Favors, Saric. They've got some decent offensive weapons. But when you add Malik Jones into this mix with Thibault, Oubre Jr., I mean, it's a pretty nasty offense. And now Malik Jones is basically saying, I'm going to take over the league. I was number 1. I should have been the number 1 draft pick, but he was the number 2 draft pick. And he's basically saying, guys, hey, this is my league now. Okay, LeBron, this is my league. This is the game for him to prove it, right? Carmelo says, well, LeBron's got some help. And I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to put this team on my back too, because we want to make the playoffs as well. And they're kind of hanging in the balance as well. So Philly one of the top dogs in the East, gonna try to do their thing against Carolina. And then, oh my God, Malik Jones. Like, how do you do this? Against DeAndre Jordan, he's coming through and he says, no, I'm gonna just two-hand jam this baby. And that's a statement. That's a statement basket. But, however, Carolina finds themselves up by 1. Oubre with the 3. Nice pass out here to Nico Mannion for 3 points. Is now 42-34. So Carolina is letting it slip just a little bit. LeBron James gets a little layup here. And Avery Bradley for 3 in the corner, going to drill it as well. And that is going to be your halftime score, right? 50-40. LeBron with the 3-point attempt from half court. No good. It is 50-40 at the half. A little dark up there, up in the bleachers. They need better lighting out there in Carolina. Like, how can you even see? It's crazy. Maybe that's why people aren't going to these games. LeBron James for 3 points. 56-47. LeBron with a little step back. Gonna hit this one as well. 56-49. Nice pass by Malik Jones to Saric for 2. So Philly keeps on scoring, guys. 69-57. Up by 12. Make it 15. 15-point lead on the road. LeBron for 2 more. Here comes Melo. Pass to LeBron. And uh-oh, block. LeBron got blocked. Up by 10. Here comes Malik for 2. Not gonna hit it. But look at this. Look at the effort. Look at the effort there by Malik Jones. He's definitely been the player of the game, guys. And I think this one's pretty much over. I mean, when you have a flashy dunk like that, when you're hitting 3 points like that, I mean, we just keep going. We just keep going with the Malik Jones highlights. Here's 2 more. He's currently got 23 points, 11 of 24 assists. We're going to get another one from Malik. Yes, sir. And that, my friends, is going to do it. 93-79 is your final score. Carolina just can't seem to get the engines revving. They can't seem to get the propeller started. That is a pun. That's a major, major, major pun. You can, instead of putting F in the chat, make sure you put P for pun. Maybe not very punny. Let's take a look at Carmelo Anthony, right? He's got about a 70+ overall rating, so he should be better. He should be better. But when you look at that box score, you're like, is that Cole Anthony or is that Carmelo Anthony? He should be a little bit better. He should be helping LeBron James, man, but it doesn't seem like anything's working for Carolina. They're gonna need an offensive superstar to be drafted next season. I really believe that. They need some more offensive juice next season. LeBron's getting older every year, man. Every year's getting older. And I know that's not an excuse. He's still a really good player for his age. But the time will come. There's going to be a time that comes and the production will diminish. So they're going to need to focus on that in the draft. If they don't make the playoffs, they're going to be in a good position. And thank God we're not listening to Bill Simmons in this segment between Houston and Tampa Bay. So I picked a good game to announce, to commentate. So we're not listening to Bill Simmons. The guy just talks about nothing. It's just dead air. It's just dead air. Talks about his book. That's about it. Let's talk about this game. Let's not pull a Bill Simmons, guys. 11-9. So we got Tampa Bay and Houston. 2 teams as well, like we've been showing in this video today. A lot of teams that are in that playoff mix. This week is pretty important. Very important for both these teams. Is Malik Monk gonna drive through, get this slam dunk, putting them on top, 27-26. Here's a 3-ball from Doug McDermott, a new acquisition from the Baltimore Cannons. So Doug McDermott was a trade piece that came over to Houston, and again, they're just trying to add to that offense, especially for 3-point shots. They got CJ McCollum, Andre Iguodala, obviously a clutch shooter. He's gonna hit 3 more here for Houston. They're up by 10 points. Tampa Bay, though, been struggling. They've been struggling lately. And it's no secret. It's no secret as to why. They haven't been getting good production out of Markelle Fultz or Jordan Clarkson. They need these guys to kind of step up a little bit. But here's a rookie sighting And Mark D'Antoni not really too impressed there with Perry Puff Jackson, the big man out of USC, missing a free throw. It's starting to get a little bit closer in the scoreboard, guys. But we see Malik Monk is going to hit this three. 62-56. Perry Puff going to get a nice 2 here. Here's Sekou Doumbouya, a Detroit Pistons player. I'm a fan of Sekou Doumbouya. I hope, my brother's a bigger fan of Sekou. He thinks he's going to turn into the next Giannis. I don't know about all that, but we'll see. I mean, it is the Detroit Pistons. They seem to screw up a little bit too much here. 68-65. We got a half-court shot that's good. He hit that. And then of course, Tampa Bay is looking at around like, guys, we're kind of in that purgatory spot here where we might not make the playoffs, and then this kind of crap happens to us. It's too close of a game for that kind of stuff to happen. 77-74. Again, a super, super close game coming down to the wire here, guys. Trying to extend that lead out. Iguodala is going to hit another 3. He's been on fire from range all night long. Here's Paul Millsap in the corner. Going to hit 2. It's 86-84. Sexton's going to get this ball stripped away. Now here comes the sting. Kuzma for 2. Got it. It's a tie game now, guys. 86-86. McCollum for 3. Drilled it. The Sting are pissed. They're upset. Look at Clarkson. He had what might have been an open shot, but he's going to try to drive here. Nothing doing. He puts up a shot. Going to be no good. Capella with the rebound. It's about 1:17 to go here. Sexton driving. He's going to give it off to Millsap. Can't get the shot off. Going to try to find somebody open here. He's going to find Iggy in the corner for 3. Got it. 92-88. So the Sting will cut it to 4. Clarkson with the foul. And why is this game important, guys? Why am I getting so excited? Well, I'm trying to get you to feel the intensity right here, right now, guys, because these teams, like I said, they're battling. They're battling for their playoff lives. They've got about a couple weeks left before it's all said and done. Who's going to take care of business? Can McCollum put him away? 3 points. 3-point bomb. 95-90, and the inbound pass from the Sting gets stolen. Oh, what a crappy way to end it. But that's going to do it. Tampa Bay shot themselves in the foot. You could say they stung themselves in the foot. Another P. Put another P in the chat. That's just another bad pun, guys. 97-90. Houston takes care of business here at home. Acquiring Doug McDermott. I want to see what Doug McDermott's final stat line is and see if he actually did help a little bit for that Houston Lawmen offense. We see McDermott only down there. I think he only had 3 points. Only had 3 points. So not really that, he didn't do too much. But that Perry Puff Jackson addition helped with a couple rebounds, got some solid point production there. But yeah, it was mostly Capella, Sexton, Iguodala, all double digits there. CJ McCollum was on fire yet again. Clarkson for 16, Irving for 14, Howard with a double-double, Fultz with 11, had a good game, but just not enough offense for the Tampa Bay Sting. All right, guys, let's get into the standings here, a little standings update. We can see Denver in 3rd place, Seattle in 5th place, Las Vegas right ahead of them as well. So the Western Conference, if you look at the games back, it's a lot. Right, with these teams, they're trying to chase that top seed with Kansas City Stampede. So don't pay too much attention to the games back as compared to Kansas City. Look at the games back from all the teams that are fighting for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th place. Those teams are really scraping, scratching, and clawing for every single victory that they can get. The same thing can be said on the other side for the Eastern Conference. Here's Wisconsin's in 1st, Philly with 1 game back, Pittsburgh 2, Jump with 3, Sting 3.5. This is jam-packed again for the 2nd year in a row. The Eastern Conference, even Washington's 11 games back, right? I mean, this is crazy. It's crazy. So even though Washington sold all their pieces, even though the City Slickers sold all their pieces, like it was still a very, very competitive Eastern Conference. Still is. Kentucky won 9 games in a row to get to where they're at. They're still alive in this mix. It could go anywhere. It could go anywhere right now in that Eastern Conference. It's going to be a fun and wild next couple of days for XBA action. We will be seeing the Detroit Power and the St. Louis Arrows live stream on Friday night. That's going to be the finale of week number 9 XBA action. And then on Sunday afternoon, you guys are going to be able to see round number 1 of March Mayhem. So we're going to get the Midwest region. We're going to get the South region. We're going to have guest commentary to be going over those games and those highlights with myself included. And then during the week, next week, not sure what date that's going to be quite yet. Be on the lookout for a Monday morning community tab post update to let you guys know when that video is going to be dropping for the East and the West regions for round number 1 highlights. So for those of you guys keeping track, we got the Midwest and the South on Sunday afternoon, and then the East and the West regions later on next week. So again, not sure when exactly that's going to be. So guys, leave a like if you like this thing. I will see you on Friday night for the St. Louis Arrows and the Detroit Power, and then Sunday afternoon for the Midwest and the South regions for round number 1. I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, peace.